So, as we know, in most of the MCU, a hero gets absolutely wrecked, thrown through a wall, blasted by an energy beam, you name it. And then next scene, they're basically fine. Maybe they've got a cool, strategically placed cut on their cheek, but that's it. It's like a temporary health debuff that just wears off before the credits roll. It's part of the fun, right? We just accept it. But the Hawkeye show, man, it did something so different with Clint Barton. Something that honestly is one of the most grounded and well done things Marvel has put on screen in years. And it's all about the fact that Clint can't really hear anymore. So, here's the thing. Clint's hearing loss in the show isn't from one single dramatic moment. It's not like he took a Chitauri grenade to the face and boom, instant deafness for the plot. Nah, it's way smarter than that. The show makes it super clear that this is a slow burn. It's the result of years and years of being the normal guy on a team of superhumans. Think about it. Every single explosion in the Avengers, standing next to Thor summoning lightning, being on the same battlefield as the Hulk, who's basically a walking sonic boom, all that stuff adds up. It's like a status effect in a video game that's been slowly ticking away in the background for like a decade. It's a wear and tear mechanic, but for a person. Every battle was chipping away at his health bar, but a part of his health bar that doesn't just regenerate. And that's what makes it so real. It's an occupational hazard. If you're a soldier, you might come back with a bad back. If you're an Avenger without super serum or god blood, you might come back unable to hear the world clearly. The show just leans into that, and it totally nails it. This is way different from the comics, by the way. In the comics, his deafness has happened a few different times, and it was always this big, over-the-top event. One time, he had to use a sonic arrowhead that blew out his own eardrums. In another, a supervillain literally stabbed arrows into his ears. It was brutal, very comic booky. But what the show did, it's quieter, and because of that, it hits so much harder. It feels earned. It feels like a genuine consequence of the life he chose. And here's the part that really sells it, the part that's just a chef's kiss of good writing. The show doesn't treat his hearing loss like a tragedy. It's not a very special episode about disability. It's just a fact of his life now. He wears a hearing aid. He sometimes mishears people. His family knows, and they just, adapt. They speak up. They face him when they talk. It's normalized. The best example of this is early on when he takes his kids to see that ridiculous Broadway show, Rogers the Musical. It's this cheesy, upbeat song and dance number about the Battle of New York, a battle where he almost died and lost his friends. You can just see on his face, it's not just cringe, it's genuinely painful for him. It's trivializing one of the most traumatic days of his life. So what does he do? He doesn't storm out, he doesn't make a scene, he just quietly reaches up to his ear and turns his hearing aid off. Boom. Silence. He's using his disability as a tool to give himself a moment of peace, to escape the noise. That's not some big, heroic moment. It's a small, deeply human one. It's one of those little details that shows the writers actually thought about what it would be like, instead of just using it as a plot device. Seriously, that one tiny character beat is more powerful than half of the CGI space battles we've seen. It's just masterclass stuff. And you can feel the authenticity there too. Jeremy Renner has talked about how he himself is hard of hearing, so he had a real entry point into this side of Clint. It's not just an actor pretending, you can see it in the little things. The way he cocks his head, the look of exhaustion on his face when he's struggling to keep up with the conversation in a loud room. It adds this layer of truth to it all. There's that scene where his hearing aid gets smashed during a fight, and he's on the phone with his little boy, Nathaniel, and he just can't hear him. He's trying so hard, just saying, "I love you," hoping his son can hear him. Kate Bishop has to start writing down what his son is saying on a notepad. Man, that scene is heartbreaking, but it's so powerful. It grounds him completely. This isn't a god of thunder or a billionaire in a metal suit. This is a dad who just wants to hear his kid's voice. It makes him, I think, one of the most relatable characters in the whole MCU. He's not defined by his superpowers because he doesn't have any. He's defined by his humanity. And this hearing loss just doubles down on that. But then, and this is where the show gets even smarter, they introduce Maya Lopez, Echo. And she isn't just another character who happens to be deaf. Her experience is completely different from Clint's. Where Clint's hearing loss is acquired, a debuff he's still learning to play with, Maya has been deaf her entire life. It's her base stat, not a handicap. It's integral to who she is, how she communicates, how she fights. She's portrayed by Alaqua Cox, who is a deaf actress, and her performance is just incredible. So now you have these two characters who share a disability, but their relationship to it are worlds apart. Clint is a hearing person who has lost his hearing. Maya is a deaf person living in a deaf world. The show doesn't shy away from the awkwardness between them. Clint's attempts at sign language are clumsy. He struggles to communicate on her terms. And that's the point. The show is smart enough to show that the disabled community isn't a monolith. Clint's experience is his own, and Maya's is hers. They find solidarity, but not because they're the same. They find it through a shared understanding of navigating a world that isn't always built for you. It's like in a game, right? You have one character who just got hit with a permanent silence effect and is trying to respec his build on the fly. And then you have another character whose entire class is built around that silence, who has abilities and strength that a hearing character could never even imagine. That's Clint and Maya. And by putting them together, the show gives us this rich, nuanced look at disability that you almost never see in mainstream stuff, let alone a superhero show. So what does this all mean for Marvel going forward? I mean, it feels like a real shift. It's like they're finally realizing that the stakes don't always have to be about the end of the universe. Sometimes the most compelling stories are the smaller, more personal ones. By making Clint's hearing loss a central part of his character, they've opened the door for more heroes who carry the real, lasting scars of their lives, whether they're physical or mental. It sets a new precedent. Maybe the next hero will have a chronic illness or a prosthetic, or deal with real-world PTSD that doesn't just get fixed in a 2-minute therapy scene. The Hawkeye show showed that you can tell a story that's fun, full of great action and has a ton of heart, all while treating a subject like disability with the respect and nuance that it deserves. It didn't make Clint weaker, it made him infinitely more interesting. It gave him depth that he, frankly, was kind of lacking when he was just the dude with the bow and arrow. Honestly, don't sleep on this one. Even if you're feeling a little bit of that Marvel burnout, the character work they did with Clint in this show is something special. It proves that heroism isn't about being invincible. It's about being vulnerable, getting knocked down, and finding the strength to keep going anyway. It's about a guy just trying his best to be a father and a hero, even when the world around him has gone quiet. And that's a story that's absolutely worth hearing. For real.